Hi all. Hi, good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Day one. So it's another beautiful day. So it's another. Okay, so everything is set, everything is working well, and I am good to go. So last time we had sort of a test run, and that was good. So, like I said, this will be done as constantly as required. And my name is Queen Diva, as you already know, and be kind enough to show some love to the channel by subscribing, joining my special subscription group, or joining the channel, or sharing the video, commenting, liking, whatever that you feel like doing would be fantastic. So, some sort of backstory before we start. Um, as you may already know what's going on in the Biafran struggle, and I keep questioning what exactly have they turned the struggle to. It's probably not new to you or not new to many people what is going on, the divisions. Now we have BRGIE, we have USB, and inside BRGIE, it looks like, we're having another form of government inside BRGIE or another faction with the recent developments. Okay, so yesterday, this group of people in BRGIE that had, they called it BRGIE Leads with Transparency and Integrity. They invited, I don't know who, and I heard some of the cabinet members as well who were commenting or who also formed to contribute in the program. But don't take my word for it. So what we will do is to listen to them and then give our own feedback or our own opinion as the case may be. So here we go.
Okay. Lovers of freedom, Chineke, we are here. We are here with the gospel of heaven, the gospel of Biafra, Ezioku Chineke. And this is a pre-planned program, and I'm sure you have seen it. Here we have BRGIE Leads with Transparency and Integrity. BRGIE leads with transparency and integrity. Ake Uchionwa, Mama Biafra, aka Onowu, it is time for her to address Biafrans. As our mother, as one that has the love for Biafra and have had experiences of Biafra, she is in a position to set records straight and to speak truth to Biafrans, and Biafrans are going to receive it with joy. It is a healing night. It is going to be a healing night. It is going to be a transparent night. It is going to be a celebration night. Believe me, there is bonfire everywhere.
Okay, so apparently, from what I've seen going on Twitter, and other social media spaces, and also here on YouTube, Vam 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 has fallen out with Sonny Akbarawa and Oge Nkere and a few other people who are in support of Oge Nkere. So they said this night, which was what they did yesterday, was to set the record straight, and he's telling us here that it's going to be for healing. And well, I stayed through the program when they were doing it all through yesterday, but was it actually a healing night? We'll see. Let's hear him do his intro, and then we can quickly get into the show.
Biafrans are being persecuted. Biafrans are being murdered. Biafrans are being killed, even by Fulani and everything. But we have come to the point where we are going to increase the momentum to take over our land and also to bring peace into our house. As no new learn about kwada choke, ula and your compuna denia, aga menu, so that a babu no can 10 away one very easily. Wait you ya, obro non capia cobo, api woya. So every misinformation will be put to rest tonight. Every discrepancies must be set straight tonight. Every manipulation must be, laid.
Okay, the thing is, you want to set records straight. You want to, put straight misinformation and all. But at this point now, how do we know who is telling the truth? Because from January, following the activities of Stains from January till probably 2 weeks ago or something like that, Age and when he abia sere Vam 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 na Sonia Akparawa na Oge Nkere bụ their APM, is he the APM? Yeah, acting prime minister. Na gabia when he gets abia sere to this extent that they couldn't contain it within themselves in-house. How buziria potassium on social media, I wasn't Muaga a believe here, you understand, because I thought they were a clique and that they had the same interest. I'm not the go here bidoro Adadio Rambana Remigius. Basically the no bidoro neku na kedo to phone gese boro AP acting prime minister, boro minister of defense, boro financial whatever, So how happy do that campaign? But I believe that before they came out on social media to talk about that they, within them, whatever other people that were involved, they would have had a meeting or talked about it and said, okay, we're going to now come out and challenge this in the public so we can stir some sort of commotion or stir some people's awareness and all that. So it's in video like that. Until we got to where they are now. I think it was about when they had their last fundraising, when Oge Nkere was drawing people's attention to the fact that he was not invited, he wasn't aware of the fundraising and that the accounts have been changed, and stuff like that. Ihanile way escalate is there to this point where we are, that by last night I chose there now to try to set the record straight. So I'm interested in finding out that record that they want to set straight. But like I said, I was flabbergasted, like, wow, that Vam 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 and Sonia Akparawa gana akozo honu na social media ina videos and documents and stuff like that. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous, honestly, because at the point we go the USB versus in the BRGIE, one would be like, oh well. But now to this point where same people who are supposed to be in the same government, oh no what in the Oge Nkere na government, oh who no one support, oh who no now that house has fallen apart and divided. It's same not Biafra, all these people natural. Well.
Rest tonight. Umuchineke. Except monobo Biafra kainacho. Except if it is not Biafra we're looking for. If it is Biafra we're looking for, then this is a program every one of you must join. This is a program every one of you must join. So 1 minute. I'm going to send it to you just in a minute.
Okay. All right. So I fast forwarded a bit there, but then have to take it back. I wanted to hear.
A lot of people are showing their concern for this program, and it is Biafra. Vam Vam.
So we hear her intro because Adana Vam 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 host to the program yesterday. Okay, let's hear what she has to say.
I'm alive. Ola Vunum. Ola went to the only live after 11. So how to go late?
I must say that this lady, Ada, is a very strong woman who is dedicated to, to her craft, to what she's doing. I always wonder how she has the energy to be online like 2 times in a day, most times, and stays for hours, and she still has the energy to go back to work the following day, and she can talk like straight 6 hours. I have so much admiration for her, for what she do, for her craft. It's amazing how she does it. I must give it to her.
Ola, but I don't know what you're talking about. Ezeku niile so na anọ m ya nwere ife na-eme because enwetara many messages about udo ọdụkwa ahụ ọdịkwa gị. Yes, ụmụ aja ahụdị m. Onwe ha n'ife mere my son ya bụzi eme ka unu malụ. Agwa
ihe o kwuru ebe a really touched me, mgbe ọ sị na ọnwụ ihe mere ya na her son ga-eme ka ndị mmadụ mara. When I was watching yesterday, I don't know, I almost shed tears just hearing that. I feel like she has, support of her children, because when you constantly watch her, there are stuff she does that I would know. No, I just looking at her, I don't think she has the capacity to do those things. There must be someone in the background who is helping, and it's good to know that her children supports her. And also, we still need you around. You're still a very young woman. You still have so much ahead of you, so much to achieve. So when he gave Maggie, Mariana, her son gave Maker, that really touched me. I'm like, no, when he gave Maggie anyway, and we don't want to meet your children because of bad news, God forbid.
I only time actually I'm for her. Only with a message from my son. When I've been on social media, one on a very family mamma. So just from Bossa on our form on a manacosi is you reach your own. You own an mem or make on mana. So Adam happy.
Okay, so we go right straight to the main show.
Continue with about Toby.
Fast forward,
Mama Biafran, Guinea Fakanza Gida Juju, Ugido.
Okay, I want to fast forward to the point where she started talking. Yes.
Finance committee, anyway, any.
Well, that's the point.
So that's why our mommy is here with the mother's love and with her experience to tell us a little bit of what is going on and then the way forward. So, mommy, where the Lord leads you, begin from there.
Okay, I will first of all start by saying, may the words of my mouth and the meditations of my heart be always acceptable to Chukwu Okike Abiyama. In Jesus' name. Amen. Yes. So, daalụ no ndị nwe m na ndị nwe. Anyị bụkwa n'odibo unu Biafrans. You're my people, and I love you guys so much. Ndị ebe a ịgwa unu okwu na ma awada agba ọsọ efifie na nkịtị na abụọ. So unu fụ ka Mama Biafran nọ n'ọpụta. Mana onwe ife baịlụ n'ọnụ nte. Onwe ife banye n'ọnụ ya. So na ife dị abụ. Mgbe izizi m bịala unu. Okay, ka m bido kene. Ka m dị bọm ka maka ife ka m nwetagide calls. Anabara m till ebe 2 a.m. Na ya chụpụgo 8 p.m. Na ya na-alụghị ọkwa na ndị committee a arọ na fa na men on ground bụ a security risk na fa nwa ga na-reach the men on ground. O nwere ife na-ekwu fọrọ. So I want to start by setting the record straight. As of this time we are speaking, Mazi Oge Nkere is still the APM of BRGIE. Mazi Oge Nkere is still the APM. Ayamari Segemen Ordiniro, okay? anyị amara mgbe odogwu ga-apụta, anyị amara mgbe onye ndu ga-apụta. Ife a bụ nne jidelu m. Okay, so as of today, ọ ka ji ife enyere enya jide. Another thing bụ na this new committee, finance committee, enwere anything to do with men on ground. Maazị Oge ka na-eri chifa maka na oge odogwu na ya nyanwa bụ onye ya na success na-eme ife a na-eme. So onwero nke a ka ndị bank kwa nke a. So ndị obi na-amapụ onwe ndị kpọm na obi na-amafa kezi Mama Biafra gịnị ife a ka nzagide ajụjụ ugide okwu tupu m bịa na be ebe 2 ụtụtụ a kunikwa ebe 6 aka na-akpọkwa etu iPhone. I've been waiting on the Lord maka ị ga-alụ ụdịrị ọlụ a dịka Jizọs kwu na onwe ndị ajọ mmụọ ekpelu na da achụpụna. Now fasting and praying na achụpụ ụdịrị a. So ana m ada akwado maka ife Chukwu kere mụ na Biafra bụ ka m bịa na-ekpelu na-enye unu ndụmọdụ from wisdom onye m. Ọ bụrụ ka m bịa wee position unu fụ ma na-ekwu position adịrọ m na position. Ọ ekpelu mụ nọdụ na ikpele ma ada ana m ekpegide Biafra ekpelu na-ebu ọnụ na-ekpelu fe ekpelu. Ọ ife dị mkpa mana mfụ ka agafebe mmụọ Chineke edute mmụ bịa kwuo okwu mụ bịa gbazie onu. So n'ife dịka ka Oge Nkere bịa na program Ada Biora Mma unu nyelụ m ọlụ mbịa anyị kpaba nkata unu si m Mama Biafra aya trọstụrụ Ngozi aya trọstụrụ Oge and unu nwere right ikwu ife ọbụla unu.
Okay, let me come in here for a bit before we continue. Una trust to Ngozi, una trust to Oge. Kedu onye unu ga trust to? You have 2 factions. There's USB, which you can support. There's BRGIE, which you can support. But una trust to Ngozi, onye na-lead USB. Una trust to Oge Nkere, onye na-lead BRGIE. So, kedizi onye unu ga trust? You know, this attitude of that I don't want to say in the body because probably it's just a general human being things, or probably it's not, that people always want to attack the leadership, you know, which is actually part of the body name. Onweho governor nke na-achịta anyị, onweho senator nke dị anyị mma, onweho onye House of Rep I believe in, onweho onye politician dị mma, onye ọbụla dị njọ. Everybody is bad, everybody is not getting it right. Okay, who is going to get it right? Who is going to be in that leadership position? So Mama Biafra, I don't know who here. No ziri ozi, wee sị no na trust Oge Nkere, una trust Ngozi Orabueze. So onye ka trust to say who is going to be that person? Gabuno Ochiwa now, or no handle things now. People are they happy? See, yes, no onyenka metia. Because at the end of the day, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is not there for now. Simon Ekpa, who sort of took over, it's not there for now. Even the DOS, no, when Mazi Nnamdi Kanu happened or Chichinaka, sort of with the structure that they had in IPOB, you know, people still sikwake wetandi DOS adi homa. So kedi na juzo mwesi kedi onye nke ga-adị unu mma.
Chukwu nyere onye ọbụla choice. Ọ bụ na Chukwu okike ga-enye onye ọbụla choice. Ọ mụbadị Onowu ka ọ bụ prime minister ka ọ bụ supreme leader ga-agala enye mma choice. Onye ọbụla nwere choice. Onye akpata ị na-anya fingerprint onye ọbụla dị iche. Ịnọba n'elu ụwa nọsịa, o nwere onye ga-enwekwa fingerprint. Ọ ka Chukwu si nye anyị individuality and choice. So that we will now go with it. If I'm able, I'll be combining English, Igbo, and broken. Makama no, I know.
Okay, Mama, no, we just got on with it.
And when on your weapon na account of a single signatory. Okay?
All right, I need to go back.
Stabilize the kingdom. We now had a parallel government with her. So when I came, I debunked it, which allowed a lot of people know what is going on and what was going on in the past. So, ifendia bu ifem megalo, where nenya mwandia debunker. But this time around, I'm coming. What I've come to do, but it was yanyonu. You know, a mother takes care of the home, cooks the food, makes sure they feed the children, and so on. And the husband will go to bed, the children will go to bed. Mama will now stand, tidy up everything. After I tidy, I mean, before you go sleep, you go inside the house, go begin check whether they lock up door or they no lock up door. She will make sure that they lock them up. And she will check the children. There are children who are bad sleepers. Some of them, their leg will be hanging from the bed. Some will have their leg on their brother's neck, pressing their neck. Some will have their neck bent. So the job of the how much is going out? What did we spend on what? For Biafra, as the acting prime minister, then if they add in your body, Kona Bakwego, Kona Mayo Ewepu, Kona Menka, all the too much. So,
you know, I'm surprised that these people run an organization where one person, both the assistant prime minister and the finance minister and practically the, you know, you say the defense minister, any organization in run an official organization where one person would be the president, you know, because Oge Nkere is like the president of BRGIE, sort of. Where he brought the president, he broke the finance the financial secretary. And and then apart from that, obviously you're the financial secretary, so ego batarano nego spendere, and you will determine how you want to spend it or sign it off. So no chenkemo ndi made this intervention, they did the right thing by having that intervention. But probably the way it's done, Mary escalates, a problem, you know, now. But it was a rightful intervention in the sense that one person should not be running the account. But another thing is, in organizations, the president could be part of the signatory to the account, which is fine. So I would have created a new account. I think that instead of Mama Onowu and the other lady, I will get to her name soon, the only signatories, probably Oge Nkere, who is the acting prime minister of the organization at the moment, should be added as a signatory to the account. But not a situation, also Oge Nkere, now run an organization account. That is not proper. That is not done. So I think it was a good thing for them to have that intervention that they had, you know, but the way it's presented to us now as if it's a hijack, Emma, that they hijacked it back from him, because obviously were presenting it initially that Oge Nkere hijacked everything, you know, so how are they now hijacked it back from him? But Oge Nkere as the APM should, well, when I say should, that's in quotes, could be a signatory to that account. But Odiho proper, now a public account, when I say public, I mean an organization account that only one person would be a signatory. In fact, not less than 3 signatories to an account like that. Not less than 3, not even 2 people. And those 3 people should not be related, and they should not live at the same address. That is like how it's done, you know. So why Oge Nkere would have a problem with something like that is questionable, and for me, you know, invokes a lot of alert. Why Oge Nkere problem that I say, okay, ka anomalize their account, go only one signatory. It should not happen that na accountable account or her. No, it's also fuonye but signatory to the account. Now manager, nah. That doesn't even make any sense. Ego public. No. So it was a right intervention for them to say that we need, an account where there would be more people signing up. Even 2 people, it's not enough. 2 people able signatory to that account are not enough at all. But let's continue to hear what I don't know what he's saying.
Now, Odabaro, I am Messiania, that we will have a financial team that will put all this money together. We have a lot to do. A nation like Biafran, we have a lot to do in that ministry. Ọbụrụ ife niile ka m ga-akpọba afa maka asị na onye atụala inu kọwalịa na ego eji m nne na n'iyi so mmadụ ebe a kpọwabago okwu afa mana enwe ọtụtụ ebe enwe itinye ego a so n'ọnya ka anyị chọọ ka anyị malụkene ego one na-abata ego one na-apụ anyị ama ka e ga-esi plan ya manụ percentage e ga-enye ndị a manụ percentage e ga-enye ndị a manụ percentage ka ọ ghara inwe onye ga-adị neglected. So na ife na-eme ife a o nwere onye na-emegide ibie ọ n'ofu akpa ka anyị ncha na-egbunye. Okay, ife a bụrụ ka mgbe nke Halimatu Abubakar.
So I think, like I said earlier, it was a good intervention to say we want to form a financial team. So they did the right thing by forming a financial team. Game oversee, ego na abata, and Oche Suspendia. And it beats me that they don't already have that. How is it that you don't already have that? So which means, no, the APM, because you are the APM who I for the sake of this analysis, I refer to him as the president. Arguing about the president of the organization, arguing about the financial secretary of the organization, arguing and determine the Eba spend Diego. So other people who are in that cabinet, because I understand that there are cabinet members, okay, also APM and the Minister of Information, also say now that BRGIE cabinet. So where are the other members of the cabinet? Guinea their positions and Guinea Boroha. If before now it's only one person that knows the amount that is coming in and determines where the money goes in terms of expenditure, it doesn't make sense. So at this point, this intervention where say I form more a financial committee, which a financial committee is not needed because there's already a cabinet. That cabinet, when the financial secretary or whatever name, probably financial minister in this case, from that cabinet, that everybody in the cabinet should be able to know what amount of treasurer. There used to be treasurer. So, but in this case, since this is a country, sort of a nation, I got a treasurer. Okay, I got a minister of finance. And after Minister of Finance, there's someone else, Accountant General, I think. There's that position, Accountant General of the Federation, something like that. So from that cabinet, we see where such a position. And these people should be able to report to the cabinet to say, and when you have a monthly report, where ministers in the cabinet should be able to give a report of activities and things that have happened within the month. This can also be quarterly, every quarter, but in this case, monthly would be much better so that people can, keep abreast of what's going on. So every month, and we report from every minister, this is what has happened. And from there, what has been the income and expenditure as well. But it's unfortunate that we're here in the BRGIE. So what sort of organization are you running? That na emo oversee finance, so onye na emo oversee security, onye na emo oversee obviously everything else that was going on in the organization. So it was proper and it was right for whichever group of people that came up with the idea to say we want to form a financial committee to be able to oversee the finances. But why I still question why. I mean, for me, that financial committee are necessary. But because go to Osiwe, I think they did the right thing by saying, let's form a financial committee to specifically oversee our finances.
Or create a Fulani account. If I have a Fulani account, if I have an account, you probably say I never I got no good. You say they get out until I got there. You want to the Leon? Oh, didn't anybody out? No. And there are bylaws, there is charter, there are guidelines you will go through. We have CRC as conflict resolution. When there's a conflict, Onowu created it. Onowu said something prophetic when he did it. He added me last. He said, I don't know who will be my eye right there. So, but it was so overwhelming for me. To reiterate, I'm saying it like a broken record. APM. APM cannot queer. And bylaws and charter. But
the thing is, APM, which I mean, technically, yeah, action here, we believe that. But do you not think that there's more to this? You know, they are in the process of removing him, because if you do not trust your money with someone, what else would you be able to trust that person with? Because this could be the beginning of something huge, you know, because agaghị apụta nnọọ direct, okay, na ị ga-achụpụ gị unu chụọ ya oburu ego unu gba ọsọ. That one the very because he is the only one that has access to the money. So this could be the process. Ka anapụtagodi ya ego enwe nke o jigodi ya jidegodi ya, because ego nke atụkwa na atụ in the past, because what they've done now is to create a new account. So which means going forward, money that comes can only go to the new account. That's if some people don't keep on putting in the old account. Like even this secretary of direct debit, but every month they will read their donation from their account. They've already set it up with that old account. So that direct debit will keep going to the old account. So I think the only thing that, from their explanation anyway, the only thing that they have been able to influence is if people are donating from the website. So it's been rerouted that it's a new account that your donation would go to if you go to donate from the website. Or when fundraising like this, then they would give out the new account for people to pay into instead of the old one. But in this set, one up direct debit, except if these people take the efforts to cancel those direct debits and redo a new one with the new financial account details, you know. So that's the thing. So, and they go can the old account, as far as I'm concerned, because that account have been there for some time, and a lot of people have been putting money into, and some people may just have like a mandate that goes off without them even checking. So, and they go in the past, he still has them. He still has access to them. So what they've done is just like ongoing, okay, from, let's say from today, for example, going forward, let's minimize, because I doubt if they would be able to stop it completely. Let's minimize the amount of money that this guy can get. So, convinced I know how to put her APM. Una chupu her APM, but already I will go crack. Because now, from what is the activities going on, Oge Nkere adọkarago ndị nke support ya, and then Vam 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 and the rest adọkarago their own part, the way it is, you know. So I don't know when is damage control, if you ask me.
Onyendu wasn't doing that. Okay, no investigation of former tupu abịa na radio Biafra bịakwe na achọrọ mmadụ, and even ọ bụ na ọbịa chọsekwa gị ịbịa jekwudie aga na afụ ya, ọ ga-adị well accounted for. So bikonu ghọtanụ ife a na-ekwu, unu ekwena ka onye ọbụla lafue unu, biko ife melie bụ na ghọtakwanụ na ọpụ ikwelu osu ekwensu kwelu osu, and also ọ bụ na ya account of ego ọfụma ịmana country anyị nọ ya will come against us na anyị na-eme money laundering, because ọ bụ na ya emelie ọfụma anyị nọrọ na Nigeria ebe ga-abụ inwe ihu onye ga-ekpuchili obodo a ma ego one na-abata, ifuga ego dị na anyị na-atụta na fundraising America ma one na-abata kwa ụbọchị fa ga-echeta anyị wee kpọọ anyị, a na-akpọfa ndị IRS kpọọ anyị ka anyị dị ready, ka anyị akwụkwọ anyị dị ready, ka anyị dee nwe na ife lụrụ inyi n'ebe anyị nọ, maka anyị chọọ imebe a nation ụwa niile ga-trust, a nation other nations will want to come and be with us.
It makes a lot of sense. I mean, where she's saying that they want to be ready with their books, without, in case, because nobody can, when the taxman would come after you. Yeah, fair enough. I mean, I do understand that. But I also think that there's a bit of emotional blackmail here, because she kept talking about it last night. IRS, we are trying to protect him, this and that and that. No, because you can still keep your records straight without changing the bank account. All you needed to do was to ask the guy to account for, you can still form the financial committee who would look into the income and expenses and prepare your financial record for the year and all that, or you do it monthly if you like, without the account being changed. The main thing that everybody should know, which they don't want to say, is that they do not trust them with their money. So they needed to have a new account where the people they feel like these are the people we trust can manage the money that is coming in. So the taxman and all that can just cause it to elongate the issue, because those are not the main motivation at all. In fact, they are not even part of the motivation. The main motivation is that we do not like the way our money is being handled, by one person who signs it off, uses the money for whatever he likes, probably for the interest of the group. So we now want to have another place where our money goes in, and we have different people to oversee it without this person having access to it. Because I don't understand how Oge Nkere is a prime minister, the technically person who is representing the prime minister, and he is not a signatory to the new account, because the normal thing is that he should be part of the signatory. And like I said earlier, only 2 people is not even enough. So they think, okay, we've done something, but you only have 2 people in that account. So the ideal thing officially is not less than 3 people who are unrelated. So there should be at least Madato Gabu signatories to that new account. But now we have only 2 people who are signatories to that account. And Obruno, it was Uganda and go katakata already. Oge Nkere as Onye Nachi was a signatory to the account. Probably make them the 3rd person. But obviously, they do not trust their money in his hands. That is why Hadwe cut wire off.
A nation, no corrupt background, foundation, messed up. And when such nations, and we will go with prime nations. Prime nations will want to. Nigeria, Pota. Nonsense na Nigeria. Aya chori bieba na Biafra. Aya chori di na emie chacha. Aya di iche. Keluzi ulu oba. pota, I play quite the same game over and over and expecting a different result. It's never going to happen. We must change our mindset. I change our mindset.
I commend and reassure.
So, I for me. If I call game. So now, if I'm a I una trust maka ife niile ga-anọ no na trust so unu wee si ada Onowu na ọ bụ na afa gị ga-adị ya anyị enwe okwukwe n'ife niile ga-aga ọfụma so esekpu m anyị asị unu na ozi a unu zilu m ejegolu m unu ya.
I really don't think this is necessary. Onwe ọbụla zigozi mommy. Onwe ọbụla zigozi na ada jọrọ mma kpọ gị na program ya ị bịa na program ya. A few people called and contributed to the program doesn't mean na Biafra zigozi na ha sigi na ha like Oge Nkere na ha trust Oge Nkere na ha trust Ekerimahia Ngozi Orabueze na ọ bụrụ na gị nwa bụ Mama Onowu ga-anọ na the account. No, that doesn't make sense. No, but onye zigi di ozi, it wasn't an official ozi. That's not Biafra zirigozi. Only Biafra zirigozi. Ada Diorama may invite na program ya. Ebia, as somebody of importance in the struggle, Ebia na the program. And it was just a few people that phoned in to make their own contributions. And also don't forget where Ada was in the past before or follow back to BRGIE. So Ada was somebody who will go a lot of criticism for that BRGIE, for Oge Nkere as a person as well. So most people that align with her not at the same position as she is. So here Mama Onowu be na-asị na onwe eziri ozi n'ozi ahụ eziri ya ka ya it doesn't make any sense for you, to be honest. That's not true. That doesn't make any sense. So when anybody's onye eziri ozi officially say ngwa na gị ga ka anapo Oge Nkere finances, so all this kneeling down and swearing and I'm not buying it. But we're gonna move on anyway.
Esekumani. We're not chinilu na kenu.
My
Na
God.
nga kuna ezioku. Onwe ni ife geme kanda kuna na ezioku. Onwe ndi me libeno. Nga aputa kwakwa. Na program a gwa unu.
What you are eating?
Nga aputa kwakwa. Na program a gwa unu. Kunu wata na ezioku apugo. Mana as of today, I don't know who na unu. Na ife ni ina abu na ezioku. Onoduka mgbe isekwu anya Chukwu ka ị na-esekwu anyị Chukwu na-afụ ife a na-eme maka asị na ebe mmadụ abọnịtọ nọ na Chukwu nọ n'etiti ya Chukwu na-anụ ife a na-ekwu mmadụ na obi m dị ọcha na ife ndị anyị mee bụ ka anyị nweta Biafra ife na ị ga-eme ka anyị nweta Biafra I don't know who ga-adị ya mmesịa ife atata ndị ga-achị mkpọli bam akpaghalugo m unu onwero.
Yeah, I think her mind, to be honest, from checking her activities from Mazi Nnamdi Kanu up till now, you would see that her heart is at the right place. Like she said, that her interest became what Biafra, and now anything make Biafra, she will not be part of it. I believe her, if I'm being honest. I believe that her heart is at the right place. But the thing is, begin when you can on at the right place, but in the her no kwano. Obi nọkwa na the right place. Ọhịa hi na work towards. Is it what they are also working towards? That is the big question, But I'm gonna sort of fast forward.
Of the
Adema chọ Biafrans. So yeah.
But this woman is very strong. At her age, she can still, kneel down for that long and get up, man. So much respect for her, to be honest. She looks very healthy, very fit, very agile, at her age, without anybody helping her up. That's amazing, but that's an aside.
So, onye ọbụla nwe no ga-ajụ.
Yes. Mommy, Azubike nọ behind the scene so that kikute too small.
Yes. Azubike ka ọ bata ka nwa mmiri.
Azubike bata. Yeah, Zubi, you are in the house now. Zubi, please go ahead and address Biafrans. Put icing on the cake.
Okay, greetings, greetings. I hope everyone can hear me.
Loud and clear.
Okay, okay. I greet all Biafrans. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Now, I greet our Prime Minister, Epa Simon Njoku. I commend and reassure Biafrans on this transition of our government to normal operations. Normal operations, normal involvement in the different government programs. Some ministries will be deployed, as well as the separation between executive and finance. This will move our nation forward. This will move Biafra forward.
Okay, I understand that this Azubi Kebo, the person who's been handling probably the website since from Mazen Namdekano. There's something he said here that sort of resonates with me. For them to, what they've tried to do is to separate the executive from the finance. And that makes a lot of sense. Because like I said earlier, I don't know Oge Sibro, no executive, no the finance, you know, and especially that he is the sole signatory to an account. It's as good as now that account to deny here, borrow his personal account to never. Because this is an organization, organizations are never, ever run like that. That no phone gabo is signatory to an account. No. So, like I also said, you know, when I started, the group of people that did this intervention to say we want to form a financial committee to look after the finances, I think they did the right thing. In my opinion, they did the right thing because it's not proper that only Oge Nkere, apart from him being the APM, being defense, being finances, let's even assume that he still he only retained his position as the finance. Okay, yeah, something just got to my mind now. Does that mean that now after Emere arrest Simon Ekpa, that they've got a new bank account? So what happens to the old one? Or was Oge Nkere the only signatory to the old account? You know, that just got to my mind because from all these stories, I've not really, nothing has hinted on the account before January. So what account was being used before January and who were the signatories to that account? What happened to that account? If the account anaporo, I mean, a close now, a weapon now, now, or account I don't use before, who were the signatories to that account? If it's not that account, probably a new one was opened, which Biazebame Oge Nkere, the only signatory. Oh, well, you know. But if not, what happens to the old account? If this account we are talking about now was the old one, why is it that even when Mazi Simon Ekpa was around, that Oge Nkere was the only signatory? Why?
You have met two of the signers on our account, Honorable Ruby Nadi, as well as Honorable Ada Onowu, who promised to help the government if needed in this way. And that time has come. So once again, I extend warm gratitude to our people who tuned into this program.
Okay, we will move on from Azubike. He didn't really have much to say. I honestly didn't understand why they had to bring him to the program because he didn't look like he wanted to say much. But be that as it may, I think he only came in to confirm what Mama Onowu has told us already, which is that they tried to get a new account, for whatever reason. So we'll move on from him. Like I said, he didn't have much to say. Okay, so or to say anything bad where I am because I was right and power to do that, or that I've
Describe yourself as Dr. Ruby Nnadi so they will understand.
Zion preferable. Vico, can you all hear me?
They can hear you.
Okay. This is we're not trying to overthrow any government. I've been going through a couple of groups where they are insulting the government. That's not what we are here for. We will have Biafra first at heart. Everything we are doing is for the betterment for our nation. Okay, in case you're wondering, this is Ruby Nnadi. I think they call him Honorable Ruby Nnadi, or did they call her Honorable Ruby Nnadi, or maybe I don't know if they call her a doctor, but oh well. So this is Ruby Nnadi, who is also signatory to the new account. So Oyana, Mama Ada Onowu, the only signatories to that account, two of them. So she's also calling in to the program they had yesterday to support what Mama Onowu has told us. So just in case you were wondering who is talking. We have put our time, our finance, our families, because whatever we do, we're doing it together with our families. If your family won't allow you to do this, you can't do it. So please, for those people, especially those insulting the CRC chairman, please cease and desist. If you all know how much he is working hard to make sure that our Biafra is intact, we're praying for unity. We are not praying for any division in our government. Our park advisory council is still intact. For those of you that thought they were dissolved, nobody had right and power to do that. Or that Vam 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 is
suspended.
Suspended or okay, I understand that Oge Nkere had put out a communique, a statement saying that Vam 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 and a few other people have been suspended or their offices taken away from them. I had actually seen that on Twitter yesterday. That is ridiculous, I mean, is it an autocratic government that he's running where he just wakes up and decides what he wants to do and just goes ahead and do it? No, I believe that's not the type of government that BRGIE was set up to be. BRGIE was set up to have arms of government and stuff like that. So when issues like this come out, he is supposed to discuss it with his cabinet. And these things never procedure actually. And you just can't suspend someone without doing investigation, giving that person the opportunity to come and say, what happened or to defend themselves, sort of. So, defend before I decide is that finally by the committee or the cabinet or whatever conflict resolution committee, I decide is that okay, based on your attitude or whatever other things that you've done against the organization or against our code of conduct, we decided to suspend you, or we decided to remove you from the organization, or whatever they decide to do. So it's not in the power, in the hands of Oge Nkere to just come out and say, yeah, suspend, you go Vam Vam Vam, yes, suspend, you go Nido, just overnight, because of this misunderstanding that is going on. It doesn't make sense. So I think Ruby Nadi is right, when she says that Oge Nkere cannot do that.
No,
that is code of conduct. I have not broken any code of conduct. So
no. So nobody or one be from Europe, please desist to refer them as being expelled or suspended. Our APM cannot do that without due diligence. We have due process. What we are doing is not a marketplace. What we are doing is not association. People can call me any kind of name, but if I don't have Biafra at heart, I won't be doing what I'm doing. So please, let's come together. APM. He knows that I am the closest person to him since we started this. I've been working with him. He knows what I can do. I call a spade a spade. It's one of the reasons some people don't want me to say anything or to say anything bad where I am, because I will call you and tell you that a wrong is a wrong, right is right. This account is just for Biafrans to cooperate so that we can move on our nation. Our PM is hurting because he knows all this that is going on. He speaks to the people involved every day that this shouldn't be out. That's why since January, we've been battling with this. We didn't want it to come outside. Some people blaming us that we waited too long. Some people say we acted.
So from what she said, they've been battling with this since January. So which us know, Nigeria Bello, very unfortunate and laughable when some people will come out in the social media to comment on the illusion government called Biafra. Okay, so from what she said, it's been ongoing since January. They've been battling it, trying to resolve, which, well, fair enough, because if they hadn't, I would question it, because I don't understand how you will run an organization and then only one person will be signatory to such an account where a lot of contributions are being made weekly. People contribute money to these things weekly, and you leave such money just for one person to run the account and decide how that money is spent. That is so questionable. But this Ruby Nadi have told us, I hope that's her name, have told us that they've been on this since January, and then got to the point where they are now.
Too fast, but what you don't know is bigger than you. We are trying to find out the best way to do this so that Biafrans will not have the impact. Please, Biafrans, nobody is going to divide this house, including AP. One person is not bigger than the nation. I can never do it. No other person can do it. So what we want is unity. We want a way to move our nation forward. Some people are blaming the advisory that they did not allow APM to file lawsuits. That was one of the concerns I heard. But that's not true. That is not true. We wanted to file this as early as before march, but APM said no, that we should wait. Elias was in our meeting many times when we requested that this lawsuit should go on. APM said no. He was upset that Secretary of State contacted the Attorney General's office without him. But we told him that we need to be involved. You're not going to do this alone. This is not about one-man show. This is for Biafra as a whole. Just like this account. We're not asking him, we're not telling him that he's
Okay. From what I understand here, because she has said something about filing a suit, and in Oge Nkere saying the CRS didn't allow him and all that. So, well, what the vibes I'm getting here is that it looks like Oge Nkere feels that the government is personal to him, like he has to be the only person to make decision. He has to be, or maybe have the final word, sort of. Because for me, that is what's been going on the ground. You know, he seemed not to have been carrying them along. He wants to have the final say. He wants to take decisions. He wants to just do whatever he thinks and he decides to do. That is why Joe earlier, I asked earlier when I started, say, okay, didn't learn on that cabinet. You know, what are their positions? Because it looks like it's only Oge Nkere that decides what needs to be done and how it has to be done, and just goes ahead and do it. So what is the point having a cabinet then? What's the point of it?
spending the money? But we're trying to make sure that before anything done, that others will know, so that if IRS will come today and tell us that we are not in compliance, we should be able to pull some record. We're trying to protect him also. God forbid that anything happen. He should be able to, Biafra should be able to move on. So we're not doing this to incite or to...
Okay, you're trying to protect him, but then God forbid if anything happens, Biafra should be able to move on. I mean, at the end of the day, I've said this before, all these things, their name is now with damage control. At natural hold to justify what they've done. No, you're not trying to protect him. The fact is that you guys do not trust him with your money, and you decided that the best way to do it is to create a new account that he will not have access to. That is why he is not part of the signatory to that account. An account that he won't have access to, and cut off, you know, the one that he has access to, so as to minimize the money that he gets. So that is the main motivation. You're not trying to protect him, because if you were trying to protect him, in the same breath, you will not say, in case anything happens, Biafra would be able to move on, which means if IRS comes for him and he goes to prison, you know, for any reason, Biafra would move on. Oh, well. So what it is.
Do anything that will hurt him. Instead, we are doing this to protect him and Biafra too. For this reason, our account is still the same. On Saturday, please, Biafrans, come out and march and donate. Your money is still going to be used for the same purpose you've been donating it for. I'm going to yield. The people calling Vam 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 bad name. At the end, you will come together and thank Vam Vam Vam. I know you are saying he did this.
Okay, there's something she said here that I don't really get. She says the account is still the same. On Saturday, come out and donate. How is the account still the same? The account, I don't think, is the same. Maybe that was a slip. obtained from her. Because how is the account the same? The former account you had was Oge Nkere was the only signatory to that account. He was the only one that had access to it. Now you created a new account where you have two signatories, Mama Onowu and the Ruby Nade, as the signatories to the new account. So obviously you want people to donate to the new account, not the old one. Oh, so I don't get how she says that the account is the same. I believe that must have been a slip there.
Before he died, that before the same reason that he's doing it to protect our nation. Thank you so much.
And that's Zion. With the Zion.
No, the system of the college government itself decides before I ask my question. Okay.
Our nation. Thank you.
Doing great. Thank you very much. But there is one thing I want to ask. I want to say something before I ask my question.
Raise your voice.
Yeah, I want to say something before I ask my question. Okay. You know, when our Prime Minister Abatobio was
okay, sorry. Yeah. Go ahead, sorry.
Okay, we'll move on from this person.
He's been talking and talking. I lost trend. So just get to your question.
The reason why I gave some explanation before I ask the question so that you know where I am coming from.
Okay, what's your question now? What's your question?
Now, my question is, knowing fully well that the house is functioning in collegial, okay? In collegial, all the decisions taken now, the whole house voted it before implementation. Do you know the vote of all the decisions coming out now?
Are you talking regarding the issue of today, the account?
Every decision that has been taken, the account.
Okay, every decision. That's why you heard when they said it was since January. So they've been going through hoops and everything. They've been making. I equally told you guys that Oge agreed that a new account should be created. They all voted for this. The only issue he had is who should be signatory to it. He wants to be signatory. So that's where they said no. The body, they've been going through, they vote on these things, they stay long on their meetings and so on. So it's not a rogue nation where like the warlord Tinubu will just stay in Asorok and just shoot.
Okay, so Mama Onowu is trying to make us understand here that Oge Nkere agreed to them creating a new account. So how come Oge Nkere agreed to them creating a new account and he sort of got sidelined, you know, from becoming, oh, hang on, I have a meeting. Okay, he sort of got sidelined from becoming a signatory to that account. And how come because the way Oge Nkere presented it a few days ago when he was having his speech was he made us feel, you know, like he wasn't aware of the new accounts or the changes that had occurred. So he didn't say it like someone who knew. He said the way he presented it is like he gave the impression that account was done without his knowledge. But I'm now that he agreed to them having a new account. But I think the problem was where this but that his problem was who would be signatories to the new account.
Out one decision. No, there's a Biafran back. That is the Biafran Advisory Council. There's the cabinet. They all meet at different times, which Mazi Oge is part of it, and they all take their votes. They make their contributions. When a motion is blocked, they will discuss it and then they will vote. So it's done. So that answers your question. Can we go to the next person?
Yeah, thank you. And we voted, for your information, we voted him back. The vote, hello, is he hearing me?
Hello.
We voted, I made a vote, and Oge Nkere agreed. Because I unanimously agreed to, have this thing done, this finance committee. So, and now for him to be backing out and doing what he's doing is very strange.
Thank you very much. And now, what you be watch and what your question?
Yeah, like I said earlier, it's quite strange that he would agree for the financial committee to be formed, for new accounts to be opened, and then all of a sudden, he's doing what he's doing, like Vam 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 said there. Maybe with time we would be able to piece all that together.
Onyako wasn't anything. I just go straight to your question because and then I come and the batch ABC watch noise is coming out. Now this guy with a problem every time up on ever.
That's my own observation.
No, thank you very much.
Thank you. God bless you.
Chalo, I'm working on you. Remember, we are still a nation. We are not a nation yet. And we have so many enemies. So if we bring everything to let you know we are going to do this, what do you think? We are not a real nation yet. So we have to be limited on where this Biafra Advisory Council, where the cabinet that will do things behind the scene and then bring it out. But about everything, we will be in trouble.
I want if I mean, ma. I want if I mean, my Biafra. If I mean, because now this news will be important. Now, this kind of thing, man. Now, Biafra, the Biafra, from our government. That mean go there now, bend me IGA program. I found a cover because if I was this account, every is there now. Nde otungoze all these languages ngozi do na social media jeme life e bank Biafra no no ya so ya na akwa instead I we na anu ya from all these blogger these content creators ka inu go there from our government I want akwa.
Well, ABC sign Romaka account, I don't think not from NDO to USB. It was from Oge Nkere when he did his speech. Onowu na yadiho aware that account was changed, and even the meeting that he wasn't invited to the meeting. I think that was the first time. Then the USB weburuzie na basajozi everywhere. But I think the caller made some sense anyway, if I'm being honest, because what maybe the BRGIE cabinet could have done was to inform the public or their people, then we'll go a new account, and that from the next fundraising, knows an account ego ganaga. They don't need to hold a conference or anything for it. They can just put out a communique in the public to say there's now a new bank account. And then from going forward, that is where their fundraising money Canada. So before Oge Nkere apotazia way Tiwaya the way he did. Oge Nkere himself, his leadership skills are questionable because how can you be in such a position and you don't know how to handle matters? Because people like me, the impression that there's division in the BRGIE cabinet. No matter how they try to cover it up or try to make it look like nothing is happening, from Oge Nkere's body language and from everything he said, it was very obvious that something is still going on, not even was.
Now the government should address the people first.
Yes, no one Biafra no news from Akande, all these bloggers.
if everything of more. I am.
You leave your phone that contains whatever you need. Back in the US, you get yourself a little phone over there so that when they get your phone, they won't see your transactions. So you have to take responsibility for that security on your own part too. So that's what I advise them when I used to be the administrator for California. They don't take their regular phones home. They get a little phone out there that is blank. And maybe a month before they travel, they stop showing up in fundraising or meetings or where we will see them. So that's how you do that. So your other question, I know you were sent by the devil to come and say what you're saying, but we are not like Lot's wife. When you're moving and you look back, you turn into a pillar of salt. I don't know who has moved forward. So digging up, only the devil digs up our past sins. When God forgives them, he does not remember them anymore. But who does that? The devil is the one that goes and start digging up. And I don't know who you were with this person in December. Now you are with us. No, that's gone. When God forgives, he doesn't remember. He forgives and he forgets it. Okay? So that settles you. Okay, take the next question. Adadi Orama.
Mama, no, you should understand that these people are not God. You know, they are people. If they decide not to forgive, they have the right not to. If they decide to remember what you've done previously, they have the right to remember that. And as much as we want to move on in life, you cannot talk about the present and the future without the past. The past will always crop up. The past will always come. So people have the right to analyze what's going on or your activities today and try to relate it to what you've done in the past. Because sometimes when you understand where somebody is coming from, you'll be able to make sense of what they are doing today. So that man that is support to Guru Ngozi, now he changes, yeah. I mean, for whatever reason, your own points are valid, your own reasons are valid why you made a U-turn. Nobody's going to question that. But for you to think that nobody should make reference to it or nobody should talk about it anymore, that's not going to happen, because people have the right to make reference to whatever they want to make reference to think about what you've done in the past, because sometimes they will need that in meguro na mboche can we ke we ghọta ihe onye ahụ na-eme now, you know. So that's it really.
Adadi Orama, both of you on the phone.
Let them go.
Accountability to Tare. But when we got support here, where my account? Because in Ireland, they check back to us a go my account. And the owner can protect it. At my own time, I'm just not cheat back. I will have to call him. Come, walk to us in the movie. Can people will be maybe I name because I got go about I know Ketano. Let's just do una. I got check we've got reports.
Yes.
And all this things are not so big. Let me have gone about on that task from Kedria. That's already on every day.
No, got the number.
I'm trying to do the question that we see.
I got the number. I got the number. I got how much you go there and go.
Thank you.
Ada nyonyo zolu omo ye na pom but he take a two call.
On our phone on na buy.
You know, but program for man when I do a difficult money somebody better. You know, man, I forget many people forget that my son say when
our PM and also to CRC, if there is possibility for them to allow us to start electing our leaders ourselves, because they have tried, and all this while they have tried, things happen. They end up being disappointed by those they entrusted things in their hands. So I'm just appealing, is there any way they will allow Biafrans to elect who is going to lead us? So that
Okay, I drew this question yesterday, and I found it a bit interesting. In Asika, unu elect onye ga lead unu. Okay, I mean, I don't. So does that mean that for you to elect onye ga lead unu, you want to also displace your prime minister, who is Simon Ekpa? You want to displace him, and then to elect. And we were also meant to believe that Oge Nkere was elected, you know, that he became the acting prime minister by some sort of election. So I don't really understand where that guy was coming from. I could feel the passion in his heart. You know, you can feel that he is genuine. You can feel that he's genuine about his question, but probably the way the question was presented is a bit confusing for me, because it's not like you're a country already. So how are you going to be electing who will lead you? How will that election be done? You know, what's the processes of selecting and all that? And how would you even know who? Okay, yeah, probably you're going to be basing it on whoever is interested could nominate themselves or get nominated. Oh well. But how do you know who and what impact that they have had? And how can you tell that what you're running away from now, that those people would not have such characteristics?
That promised land. Mommy, because of
the anger of God will be upon him, and that sin is unforgivable. You have to go. So you saying now that
suspend the about BRGIE meeting. Can you BRGIE meeting? Can you do against this
account? The account I got suspend you can go ahead and ask him. Against it. Back, all back, Buife, electric Oge, forward. This full house of cabinet are not here. Now, Abiaka Bute na that house, I in a talk Bute. Oh, it can cause one more confusion. I talk working how put outside. Actually, in a way that Oge Nkere will understand, it will be in the interest of Biafrans, and then everybody, once it is done, will now announce it. They want to know for Biafrans that now the good decision they take now, you want to abide by decision, and it is in the interest of Biafra. Everybody move forward. But Oge Nkere did not want it. Sonia Parawa, who has suddenly become a saboteur, did not want it. He now suddenly fighting it, come openly, causing confusion. If not, nobody would have had it. The only news the world would have heard was Oge Nkere by himself announcing to the world that this is a decision that was taken and it is the interest of Biafra, and we move. Everybody na account na ego banye that are just like that the coin non in the account. I don't know who the account. At that time on the account, on another account. Biafran say, hey, this is a transparent government. We love him. But instead of him to do that, Oge arrange all the media mugu, Irat, Nkiru, Chioma, Chinyere Apu, Eunice Uchechi, all the dingbats in the media. Pota, they insult everybody. Sote Eunice and Uchechi and Chinyere. Insulting, I don't know. All of them insulting everybody. These people became Irats all of a sudden. These are people we have been doing things together. And the sin is not on their head, though. The sin is on the head of APM. He has to ask for forgiveness. Sonia Parawa have to ask for forgiveness because they divided the house. This is one thing Mazin Namdekan is against. Anybody that divide Biafra, the anger of God will be upon him, and that sin is unforgivable. You have to go. So you saying now that now we would have brought to the main house, there wouldn't have been any need because we will take the decision. Oge Nkere will agree. He will, because he already agreed for it. The reason why Ojizibiana fight so
Okay, so on this note, we are going to be rounding off now. I mean, Vam 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 sort of in his monologue has said it all. So, na ha plan Erika, iha buri ha game in-house. Then, emecha ya change the account. Oge Nkere can now come out and announce. Then we'll go new account, you know. Don't mind every other thing that Vam 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 was saying there about Niana Ukoruzego and all that. But then, the process could have been Oge Nkere would have come out to say, then we'll go new account and people can now do donations using the new account, and whatever that has happened within them in secret, nobody would have been able to know. Please, you need to come back because I'm going out. So you need to come back quick. So whatever that has happened within them, nobody would have known that. But unfortunately, it didn't happen like that. Even though Oge Nkere accepted that they should form a committee and open an account, Opotazian also. That's what we are meant to understand. We haven't heard from Oge Nkere himself anyway. Well, what we heard from him is he gave us the impression that he is not aware. The Hawana now not the aware. But why Oji Potazia Nozo changes here, you know, beats them and obviously beats every one of us. Because Obona to Vam 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 Sikowaya now, actually, Botosi Weme, you know, what Oge Nkere should have carried on. I think Muhem not suspectable, maybe na Okwetara came with the financial committee, Kweta came a new account. So I guess he may pay the new account. Ekweho Kanyawa borrow part of it. Probably that is where he snapped, you know. Ekweho Kanyawa borrow part of the new account. One moment, guys. For me. Yeah, okay, sorry guys, I needed to speak to someone. Okay, so as I was saying, what Oge Nkere should have done as a leader, if he had the leadership qualities that is expected of him, is to curtail the incident in-house, especially since it's been ongoing. So he gave us the impression that these people just hijacked the account and changed it, you know. We felt like he didn't have a knowledge of it and all that, but from hearing, I don't know who, and a few other people that called into the program, and Vam 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 now, like I said anyway, and I have been on no phone. So from hearing these people's part of the story now, it's been established that since January, this has been ongoing. Oge Nkere was well aware that Age created the financial committee, which he approved, and Age created new account, which he also approved. But now, why Oji's weapons here? The thing that was a problem, you know, they too cannot explain it, and I believe you too cannot explain it, just like I cannot explain it. So it baffles everyone, and we'll keep wondering, and who knows, with time, we would have more clarity. But I honestly do wish that they would stop the show of shame that they are presently doing, especially on X, on Twitter, and even on YouTube. Because if you people can stop the show of shame and try to curtail your problems in-house, because even drag into it, you know. So apart from just that now, because at the end of it, you know, so you guys are dragging everyone into your mess. So try to curtail your problem within your in-house and deal with it. Because Zoom naturally convinced a lot of people that, okay, you're getting a country and this country is going to be a Dorado, is going to be paradise on earth and all that. But the activities I want from, you know, you guys don't support this impression that you're giving us. Because if you cannot even lead a cabinet of a few members, is that how you're going to lead a country? Lead is a country. So ndị mmadụ anaghị ihe unu na-eme, unu na-asị they play the show. Ndị mmadụ anaghị ihe unu na-eme, ọ na-aga ọfụma ka, you know, sane people. Then you would be able to convince a lot of people that, oh wow, there might be light at the end of this tunnel, or for people to actually take you seriously and have a second thought about what you're doing. I don't want to carry on talking because I need to be somewhere at 1. Okay, thank you so much for being here, and thank you for joining. And please follow my subscribe subscribe to my channel, and help me to like the program, to share, to comment. Nigeria Bello said, very unfortunate and laughable when some people would come out in the social media to comment on illusional government. Okay, so this person is throwing a shade at me. So that's it really. Okay, I'll see you guys in my next one. Thank you again, and bye for now.